The next speaker is Robin Christopherson. AbilityNet run the awards. We're the sort of lead organizer of the awards. And so a big area for us, we provide support to disabled people to use technology in all sorts of settings, at home, at work, and in education. And a big area for us is accessibility. What I'm going to ask Robin to do is just explain a little bit about accessibility from his point of view and look ahead a bit and see some of the ideas that we may see in this year's awards in terms of new technologies that are around. Robin, shall I come and get you? Okay. Right. You're right, dog. And I'll click. You're to your right a bit. I'll click for you.
Morning, and this is Archie, the singing dog. Down, Archie, down. Come on, down. Down. Good boy. Good boy. Thanks, Mark. So I've been asked to sort of briefly give an insight into technology and a bit of a personal angle as well. So 5 years ago, when it all started, the winner of winners in 2011 was Lifelights. Lifelights were a charity who provided computers and gaming machines for hospices for terminally ill children. And as a result, perhaps, of being the winner of T4G 2011, they're now twice the size and helping twice as many really sick children. So that's a fantastic result. Last year's winner of winners was Open Bionics. Open Bionics do very cost-effective 3D printed prosthetic limbs, tailor-made for every individual, with motors and sensors that integrate directly into the limb of the individual. Really revolutionary stuff. So what will they be doing in 5 years' time? I'm personally holding out for some sort of 3D printed eye, maybe, that can make blind people see. Is anyone from Open Bionics here today? So in a choice of colours, with like built-in sunglass facility, maybe. So 5 years ago, I did a quick demonstration of my phone and how I use my phone on a daily basis, and I absolutely still do that. Love my smartphone. But today, 5 years on, I've now got a smart watch as well. Anyone else got a wearable of some sort in the room? Smartwatch, fitness tracker, yeah, that sort of thing. So I've been asked to give a quick blast of how I use my watch. So, moving, 20%. I don't know if people can hear that. 42%. Hopefully that'll come across a little bit. I've slowed it down for you and it's on 100% volume. So I use my watch. It's got extra sensors compared to the phone. It's got a pedometer, heart rate sensor, that sort of thing. And I've got so many apps on here that I could really spend all day telling you about them. But I'm just going to show you on the clock face of my choosing here, I've got a number of different complications, as they're called. So in the top left here, I've got the fitness tracking stuff. It's telling me I've done 23% of my move goal today, 13% of my exercise goal, that sort of thing. So that tracks my steps with the move goal, and they're little circles on the screen, but because it's done in an inclusive way, then to me they're read out as percentages. The exercise, I have to do 30 minutes of exercise every day of over 130 beats per minute because it's got a heart rate sensor built in as well. I actually find it difficult to make my move goal because whenever I'm out with Archie, we go so fast that my heart's actually over 130 beats a minute. So that always just goes towards my exercise goal, so it doesn't count towards my move goal as well. And then there's a standing circle there as well, which is that you have to stand up for at least a couple of minutes every hour for 12 hours every day, which really does get you up when it taps you on the wrist, reminds you to get up from your desk and just move around for a couple of minutes. And then in the top right corner here, 12:05 p.m. 12:05 p.m. I don't know if you heard that. So it's got a clock, which is always very useful in a smartwatch. And then in the middle here, 1:30 to 2 p.m. Speaking at CTIL event. So it's saying 2-3 Bloomsbury Square, London, WC1A2. So at 1:30, I absolutely, me and the singing dog, have to be across town to speak on a similar stage to this at the charity IT Leaders presentation at 1:30. So I am actually going to have to leave after my little slot here this morning. So that's the next calendar that comes up in the middle of the screen there, which is incredibly useful as well. Obviously, I can tap through to get to the full calendar app there. I'm hoping that the cab will take contactless payments because then I'll be able to pay with my Apple Watch NFC in the cab. On the cab to the way here this morning, I just used Siri to say, take me to the BT Tower, and it started to take me there, and it was tapping on the wrist whenever we got to a junction. It's really cute. It's a bit, on when you're doing a signal, a left turn or something, it goes doot. Well, that's what it taps on my wrist. It's really cute as you're approaching a junction, and I can obviously see where we're going and make sure that the cabbie is taking me a relatively sensible route. And then, Bottom right here, bottom left, I've got this time buzz, which is another complication which, when I open it up, it does something really cute. So if I'm in a meeting, and I might mute my watch because I don't want to be, having it chatting away while we're having a meeting. So I could mute it, and then I can still tell the time. I'll see if this works. Hopefully you'll be able to pick this up.
Time buzz.
I'll just go into that. Now, if you listen to this, that's 12, 2, 7. So 12:27. And that's because the long was 5, so it doesn't have to, drill out the whole thing. So it just taps on your wrist what the time is, and obviously it wouldn't be making that sound if I had my phone, my watch muted. Bottom right, bottom middle here.
Messenger.
Oh, sorry.
Clock 8 degrees.
8 degrees.
Double tap to open caret superscript 5.
Double tap to open caret superscript 5. Caret weather. That's a really cute app. That's a weather forecasting app with attitude. I definitely recommend caret weather. And then bottom right here.
Sunset. 6:04 p.m.
Sunset is 6:04, and you might be wondering why a blind person would need to know what time sunset is. Actually, I'm fasting at the moment, and we could use Siri here to Google, which religion fasts in the month of March, but I'll leave you to that later if you're in any way interested. But we could use Siri, for example, to...
12:08 p.m.
How tall is the BT Tower?
BT Tower. Wikipedia. Height. 626 feet 8 in.
626 feet 8 in. So hopefully, I did that 5 years ago. Oh, someone's ringing me.
End call. Dimmed. But end call. End call.
I don't want to end.
8 degrees. Time buzz.
Oh,
8 degrees.
I dismissed you.
Double tap to open caret superscript 5.
Call me again.
8 degrees. 12:05
That was a plant, but I let them go, or maybe it dropped. So you can actually take phone calls as well. Den was going to call me and tell me that I needed to wrap up. So thanks, Den. So basically, that's the end of the quick demo. So where will technology be in 5 years' time? We've seen how far we've come in the last 5 years. Maybe in the next 5 years, there'll be autonomous vehicles on the streets of London. Maybe there'll be bionic suits or bionic eyes. Or actually, come to think of it, all of those things are actually here today. So there are contact lenses that have a built-in heads-up display, so you can actually watch your computer screen within your contact lens. They also have built-in optical zoom, so you can magically magnify what you're looking at. You can have bionic suits. The first kick of the World Cup last year was kicked by somebody who was completely paralyzed wearing a bionic exoskeleton. And last week, the government announced that autonomous vehicles will be test-driven on the streets of England straight away, including the streets of London. So we're actually there already with regards to those things. So in 5 years' time, what will you be wearing on your wrist, or perhaps in your eye, or maybe even embedded under your skin? I'll just finish off with a quick story. Mark, who's a fantastic maker chap, he goes to a maker club. For those of you who don't know what maker clubs are, they hammer and solder and 3D print things. And he goes to a maker club in Brighton, and 7 of his friends in this maker club have implanted the NFC chip for getting into the building under their skin so that they can put their hand up to the door and unlock it like that. So if any of you are wondering about the embedded thing, well, that's already arrived as well. And who knows what health benefits and larger sort of benefits that this technology will be accruing over the next 5 years. So thank you very much indeed. What we can say for sure is that T4G will be there showing you guys the best of the best. Thank you. Archie.